Shalom, Kalalal, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. All praises, glory, and honor do unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS, to USA Shalom, and Shalom unto the hopeful elect. Lord willing, this will be edifying and thought-provoking in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. I just want to go into humility. If you're a brother or a sister that is struggling with humility, this video goes out to you. But I make these videos for myself first and foremost. I always try to do what I preach and teach, always. So this video is just going to go into humility, and I have a couple scriptures and precepts lined up. And I just want to start off by saying that humility is an important virtue to have while being in this truth, and it is essential for your growth and well-being. That's if you want to have a very good time serving the Lord. You need humility, right? You need humility to serve Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai and to serve the brotherhood. And it's not easy, man. Some individuals have issues with pride, and the Lord is going to purge that pride out of you by humbling you, and you have to embrace it. You gotta embrace it. You gotta embrace it. If you don't embrace it, most likely you're going to fall out and be sifted and destroyed. So this is Philippians chapter 2, verse 2. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord and of one mind. Beautiful. Yeah, because this is a body, man. Body is composed of different organs, right? And those organs, they have different offices and different jobs. But they're thinking about the same thing. It's about keeping the body alive. And that's how this truth is. That's how this truth is. Brothers that are in the truth, we have different offices and different jobs, but we're of the same mind. Our goal is to serve Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai in righteousness and to obtain the kingdom of heaven. So we're thinking the same thing in righteousness, and that's how it should be. If we're not on the same page, then there's problems. Satan has infiltrated. So we gotta be of one mind in righteousness. We have to be thinking the same thing, and we have to be in unison with each other. And that's why it's in order for it to get to that point. That's why you have to be around brothers. You have to talk to brothers, and also you gotta take the low while being around brothers. It's very important. Verse 3: Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than ourselves. Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. And we're supposed to do nothing through strife and vainglory, and that's what I want to talk about. But I'll also say this: there is no greater enemy to brotherly love than pride and passion. And if we do things in contradiction to our brother, which is by offending them and insulting them and trying to destroy them, this is called doing them strife. Right. So also, man, try to stay away from something called ostentation. Ostentation is going into luxury, but that also can play into you having the pride of life and you always showing what you're about. Like you got to be the type of guy that always wants to wear your rank on your sleeve, or you got to be the guy that has to know everything, or you got to be the guy that has to always quote fucking precepts all the time. Like you got to just be that guy in the forefront, or you're just that guy that don't want to do nothing, because of pride. And you got to stop that, man, because that's going into the realm of vainglory. So I just want to say those things that I just mentioned. It is very, very destructive to the body and to brotherly love. We gotta get rid of that. We gotta cut that shit. Now, when we go into, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves. Yeah, man, we must esteem others in lowliness of mind better than ourselves. Now that goes into how we're supposed to be severe upon our own faults and charitable in our judgments of others. So we have faults, man. We sin, we go off, and we have to be very severe on it. So we must cut that shit right away. We got to deal with our faults and problems. Right? And we got to be charitable in our judgments of others. You may be judging brothers, but you got to be aware on who you're judging. And you also got to show mercy. And I'll say this as well, you have to be quick in observing your own defects and infirmities, because we wouldn't be in this truth if we didn't have defects or infirmities. It's true. And we all have defects of character, so to speak. We do, man. Defects of character. You know, a defect may be like, for example, I know I have this issue. I have an issue where sometimes I take things too fucking seriously, and I just need to chill. And then, sometimes I'm very narrow-minded, and that could be overbearing, man. When people come around me, and people can get annoyed, and then that causes me to push people away. You know, those are defects, man. And we got to work on these type of defects, especially when we're in the body, we're around the brothers. You got to work on your defects, man, because those defects can take you out the truth. You could offend Yahushua, and you can offend his little ones. Also, when we come into this truth, man, and when we're around brothers, we must esteem the good in brothers as well, above that which is in ourselves. And the reason why I say this is because, if you've been in this truth for a while, you know your own unworthiness and imperfections. So if you know that, then that means you got to esteem the brothers that are around you too, so they can lift you up in your time of need. Those are just some thoughts that I had, man. I hope it makes sense. That's just what I was thinking of. This is impromptu, by the way. These videos are not scripted, man. I just go off of the top of my head. I just get the precepts that I want to get up, that I want to bring out, and then I just talk, man. So anyways, I just want to go into the next one. It says, Proverbs chapter 29, verse 23, a man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Yeah, and if you exalt yourself, you will be abased. Don't think that you're going to gain respect by lifting yourself up above your rank, or especially if it's before your time. Don't expect to prosper. You will be abased. You can't gain respect by lifting up yourself by just talking big or appearing better than you are, or by applauding yourself and bigging yourself up. If you do those things, you're going to be exposed, and you're going to be in contempt, and in fact you're going to lose your reputation. So that usually happens when you get too proud. You start exalting yourself even more, you get puffed up, and then you start talking big, you start appearing more finer than you really are. You applaud yourself, you begin to lose your reputation. The Lord starts bringing you down, and that's called humiliating you. That's called humility. So I'm just bringing this out just to further prove that humility is going to come one way or another. You either humble yourself while being in the truth and doing it the right way, or you be proud and then get humbled and then look stupid and then everybody hates you. That's what's gonna happen. So you can't escape humility. Humility is coming one way or the other. So yeah, man. So yeah, humility is coming one way or the other. All right, so let's get another one. This is Proverbs chapter 18 verse 12. Before destruction the heart of a man is haughty, and before honor is humility. So same thing. It's kind of similar to Proverbs 29 and 23, but it just shows you in this passage that pride is the presage of ruin, and ruin will at last be the punishment of fucking pride. You can't say that enough. Yeah, man. So just keep that in mind. Humility is the presage of honor, and it prepares men for it. And that's why it's important to have humility, because when you have humility, you'll understand what honor is, and then you will be able to not only obtain it but to keep it. So that's why you need humility. That's why it says, and before honor is humility. So it's very important, and that's why the Lord wants you to be humble in this thing, and that's why he keeps you humble by doing certain things to you. And it can come in many forms, man. It can come through the rank and file of the camp. It could come in by the way of how certain brothers study more, or how you see brothers have certain talents. All those things. The Lord can do anything to humble you or to show you humility. Right? So that's just what I went through, or what I'm still going through. My little time in this thing. All right, so let's get another one. This is 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 6. Humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time. Yeah, beautiful. Casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. You see, so yeah, humility, it's a very great preserver of peace and also order within the ministry, and really society in general. And consequently, pride is the great distributor or disturber of them, and it causes the most dissension and breaches in the church or the ministry. And you can see that because certain individuals have come about and they showed their pride, and it caused a lot of dissension and problems. And the Lord taught us lessons when we saw those things happen. And they're like, wow, these are the things that I shouldn't do. Like, for example, Sakari, also that guy named Ringo. Those men were proud, right? And pride was their downfall. And you saw that it caused a lot of dissension, caused a lot of breaches. But thankfully we have Yahushua, because the scripture says Yahushua is the one to close the breaches thereof. And them breaches is going into the animosity between the brothers that are within the church. All the problems, like the disputing about which doctrine is correct, which is, going into the doctrine, teaching correctly. Thank God we got Yahushua, man. He's going to close the breaches thereof. But yeah, man, humility is a very great preserver of peace, and it creates order. And pride is a great disturber. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Like I said, pride is a great disturber, and that's what's gonna happen to you, man. You're gonna be disturbed, man, in the way where you could be destroyed. You could die by the hand of Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, and he can take his Holy Spirit away from you. Hey, the Lord, he resists the proud. It shows you that there is a mutual opposition between Yahweh Bashim Yoshai and the proud. And the word goes into it, man. The word lets you know that people who are proud, they're warring against Yahweh Bashim Yoshai. So if you're proud, man, you're at war with Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai and the brotherhood. Hey, and the brothers will get on you, and they're supposed to get on you. And I made this very clear in my previous videos. I was going into how, it's a positive thing if brothers get on you, rebuke you, and they kick you out the camp for a time being. That's to take that leaven out of you. That's a beautiful thing. Just because you get kicked out of the camp doesn't simply mean that you're not a man of the Lord either. It's what you're doing with your time while you're being kicked out of the camp. Like, what are you doing? Are you focusing on the Lord? Are you working on yourself? Are you not trying to get better? But you know what? Getting kicked out is very important. It also destroys the cancer that can take over the camp, because one person or one individual or one brother can be a cancer. If you allow his bad behavior to go on and fester within the body, that can destroy the whole church. But yes, it's all right if you get suspended. It's just, what are you doing? Are you trying to make amends with Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, and are you using your time wisely? Are you asking for forgiveness? What are you doing? If you're not doing those things, then hey, you're not gonna do too well. All right, enough of me rambling. Let me just move on. This is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16, and this goes into the point that I made about the opposition between, or the mutual opposition. There is a mutual opposition between the Most High and the proud, right? This kind of goes into it. So this is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16. These things doth Yahweh hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaks lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. And all of this relates to pride, and you having no humility. I believe so. Right, but yes, these are the things that the Lord hates. 7 are an abomination unto him. I call these the 7 deadly sins. And yes, it's very sinful. Well, it can lead to sin if you're very proud. Right, and we can't have sin while being in the body. And that simply means you cannot have pride in the body, because that's going to bring forth sin. So you got to get out that individual that's proud, or you got to remove that prideful spirit off of him or her. All right, man, that's enough. So I hope this was edifying. I hope this was edifying, man. I hope you got something out of it. This was just me talking. These are just the thoughts that I had. This is impromptu. I just go off of the top of my head. Yeah, man, stay humble. I take that to heart. I gotta stay humble as well. I gotta stay humble. You gotta fast. You gotta pray, and also talk to brothers, man. Message them. You got these phones. You got WhatsApp. You got the internet. Use it, man. Talk to brothers. Go on a brother's page. Message them. Alright, man. So with that, I just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS that do rule well and that do teach well, that have taught me this truth. To you, I say Shalom. Shalom unto the hopeful elect. All praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Shalom.